This video is going to be repetitive, but this is called The Alt-Right Loves Asian Women, and you're going to wonder, why does the alt-right love Asian women? In case you're wondering what the alt-right is, if you look it up on Wikipedia, you see, let's see, you see several things here. You see at the top, Richard B. Spencer, 8chan, white nationalism, and angry white male. Now, before I open up this link, let me just go over those four. Richard B. Spencer, of course, is the founder of of the alt-right and a white nationalist. 8chan is a spin-off of 4chan. 4chan is a Japanese image board. White nationalism, of course, is the belief that whites should have their own countries. And the most famous white nationalist of all time was a man named Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a man who also said that China and Japan have a history that is greater than our own. In reference to our own, he was referring to of course, the German people. He said that China had a greater history. The angry white male. Now before you see the angry white male, I'm gonna ask you, what is the most common interracial pairing in the world? It is a white guy and an Asian girl, right? So you're gonna say, oh, Eurasian writer, you're just hating. My father is a Holocaust denying. He's a famous writer in the northeast of the United States. He's a famous writer. He has received death threats for being so extreme because he actually has said that gay people should be hanged. He said the Jews are responsible for taking over Hollywood and causing every single war in the United States. He has communicated with actually Mel Gibson. He has written that drug dealers and feminists are repugnant and should be put into compounds. Whenever he sees a black guy on TV, he says, "Hey man, hey." He refers to black people as Negroes, as brothers. He refers to them colloquially as brothers. He hates seeing black men and white women. He has told my mother that black is the color of New York City Jews, that they wear the color black because it's the color of New York City Jews. He's a very big fan of people like Enoch Powell and Ezra Pound and other very, very famous anti-Semites. He believes that Jews are sadistic evil. And his wife, yes, his only wife, the only wife he ever had, was a woman from Hong Kong. Now, you're going to say, why do white men like Asian women? Well, it's because Asian women fit a characteristic. They like blue-eyed, blonde-haired white men. They like status. They want to feel integrated. They want to feel superior. They don't want to marry Asian men because that means marrying down. They have an immense language barrier where they think all white men like my father are amazing human beings. Amazing, just incredible human beings that are, they're Prince Charming, white Prince Charming, and they can do no wrong. If they marry them, they can feel like they're in a Disney movie. They can feel like they're in Downton Abbey. They can feel like they're Cinderella. And of course, what they don't realize is that white men are very, very angry at white women for doing exactly what Asian women do. So white men are very angry at white women for liking Indian and black. And yes, even Asian men, they feel like white women are too irresponsible, too traitorous. White women do not default to the white man. So Asian women seem to do that. Asian women seem to like white men. They seem to like to be submissive to white men. They seem to really like to they seem to agree with white men that black people are ruining civilization. They seem to agree with white men that Mexicans and dark-skinned people are ugly and don't fulfill the dream for a white homeland. Alright, so Asian women are even more racist than white men. My mother was always talking about how black people have AIDS and I shouldn't date a black girl even though black girls are the only ones that like half Asian guys. And all this stuff. So you want to know why the alt-right likes Asian women? Let me explain. Let's open up the alt-right page on Wikipedia here, alright? Here you go. I'm not making this up. This is going right here. The alt-right is a loose group of people with right to far-right ideologies who reject the mainstream conservative of the United States. White supremacist Richard Spencer appropriated the term in 2010 to define a movement centered on white nationalism and has been accused by some media publications of doing so to whitewash overt racism, white supremacy, and neo-Nazism. Alt-right beliefs have been described as white supremacists, frequently overlapping with anti-Semitism and neo-Nazism, nativism and Islamophobia, anti-feminism and homophobia, white nationalist, right-wing populism, and neo-reactionary movement. The concept has further been associated with multiple groups from American nationalists, neo-monarchists, men's rights activists, and presidential campaign of Donald Trump. The alt-right has its roots on internet websites such as 4chan and 8chan. right? Now, before we get into this, keep all of this in mind. Now I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to go to notable individuals. Check this out. Check this out. Here we go. I'm going to go over one by one. Mike Cernovich is married to an Iranian woman. Okay? John Derbyshire here is married to a Chinese woman. Chuck Johnson here is married to an Indonesian Asian woman. Paul Ray Ramsey has made videos about dating and marrying Asian women. Steve Saylor has repeatedly written about Eurasian children and how they can represent white people in the future. Richard B. Spencer has dated multiple Asian women according to MotherJones.com. Jared Taylor grew up in Japan, okay, and he speaks fluent Japanese, and as you can imagine, a 16-year-old white kid in Japan, you can imagine what he's doing. Tia Tequila is an Asian woman. Vox Day speaks Japanese fluently and studied Japanese. Paul Joseph Watson is rumored to date an Asian woman. I'm not even sure who these other people are, but if I click on them, I can probably find the Asian connection. I can probably find something about the Asian connection here. Co-host of Red Ice Radio. Red Ice Radio actually has had an Asian woman on it. So Lena Lochtef is an American conservative and alt-right writer. Red Ice Radio actually has had an Asian woman give a speech on there. What's this woman's connection? Alright, let me show you here. Alright, so Red Ice Radio, this was another woman listed under the alt-right. Okay, here we go. By the way, this is a list of every single white nationalist and neo-Nazi has an Asian wife. You can see here. It's 50 people long. And these are not minor people. These are major people. So I'll do a video on that later, but this is a woman actually who did an interview with Red Ice Radio, as you can see here, Red Ice Radio being listed as, here's an Asian woman who says that more husbands should rape their wives. It's a lot better than adultery. Yeah, of course. Here she is defending the KKK. In the Philippines, the KKK means something else. And she did an interview with Red Ice Radio. So the alt-right is white man, Asian female. Now, why is that? Why is that happening? Well, is it because they have some kind of I don't know. But look at this. Yesterday, the New York Magazine posted an article about the alt-right. I'm not gonna read all of it to you, but I'm gonna show you something here that's gonna blow your mind. First of all, the alt-right started on 4chan. 4chan is a website devoted to a Japanese image board. It's devoted to Japanese people, and 4chan is obsessed with Asian women. Jared Taylor, I'm sure if I click on some of these, there's going to be Asian women that they're married to. See, the movement has a real problem with women. Now, you think about these guys that are anti-feminist, what kind of women do they like? They like Asian women, right? Look at this. This guy might even be half Asian. I'm not sure. He's a freaking guy who is being listed as the new alt-right here. This guy is rumored to have an Asian wife. Of course, look at him. He's like the nerdy, autistic white guy. And then there is Base Stickman, as you can see. Where's Base Stickman? Of course, Base Stickman is the symbol of the alt-right now, and he has an Asian wife too. The guy, Kyle Chapman, who I made a video about. So the alt-right now, white women are not getting on board with the alt-right. So what the white men are doing is they're shipping in Asian wives who have white skin, that appreciate whiteness, that appreciate white status. And what they do is they're creating a whole new class of children that are half white supremacists. Just like I became a white supremacist in my past. Alright, I can't find Kyle Chapman on here, but he's on here. Alright, that's it. This video's too long. Bye.